Today, I want to share a story with you. It's about a unique kind of wisdom, not the kind you find in a classroom, but one that comes from a deep, deep connection with the world around us. We're going to follow the journey of a young man named Ali and see how the simple lessons from his village really shaped his entire life.
You have to picture it. Ali's world was one of open fields and animals. He grew up surrounded by the rhythms of the earth. And this foundation, this beginning, would end up teaching him more than he could have ever imagined.
You know, in Ali's family, the day started long before sunrise. He'd wake up and his mother would already be there milking the cow. And his father, he'd been up even earlier, tending to the animals before heading out to work in the fields. And as the call to prayer would echo through the quiet morning air, the whole village just seemed to stir to life. Even the old tree in their courtyard, it almost looked like it was stretching, its branches filled with this chorus of birds, all greeting the new day.
Ali's morning routine was just this series of small, really meaningful connections. He'd open up the chicken coop, feed some bread to their trusting dog Tommy. He even understood the hopeful way the goats would look at him. These weren't just chores, you see. They were like conversations without any words.
So, being immersed in nature like this every single day, it just polished his senses. He didn't just learn about hard work, he learned about the unspoken language of the world. He started to really understand how these voiceless animals expressed what they needed, what they felt.
His power of observation became just incredibly profound. He could look at a single thing and somehow understand the whole story behind it, the hidden meanings, the things that were left unsaid. And this was a skill he learned out there in the quiet fields of his village.
But then, well, life took a pretty sudden turn. His father wanted better opportunities for him, so he sent Ali to the city to find work. And this new chapter, it was going to test his village wisdom in a completely different world.
The city was, well, a shock to his system. The fresh air he knew was replaced by factory smoke. The sound of chirping birds was drowned out by the roar of machines. That calm, humming feeling of his village was just gone, lost in the constant rush of city life.
So one day at the factory, a big machine breaks down and all the work just stops. The engineers, the technicians, they're completely stumped. But Ali, he's just standing quietly in a corner, and he's listening. He steps forward and suggests a specific part might be loose. Why? Because he recognized this subtle change in the sound, a sound that reminded him of the old hand pump back in his village.
And when they checked, he was right. His coworkers were just astonished. They asked him, "How did you know?" Ali's reply was so simple but so profound. He said he listened to the factory sounds, just like he used to listen to the birds. As it says here, village life has taught me that everything has its own language. We just need to know how to listen and observe. And that day, his perspective earned him a whole new level of respect.
That's when Ali realized his village wisdom wasn't just for the fields, it was a universal tool. So he decided to continue his education. And, wouldn't you know it, at his new college, another problem pops up. Someone lost the key to the library. While everyone else was ready to just break the lock, Ali stayed calm. He remembered a similar problem with a tricky lock back home, and, using that memory, he managed to get the door open in just a few moments.
As he went on with his studies, Ali found more and more opportunities to apply these lessons from his youth to the challenges of academic life, and he'd share his unique way of seeing things with his peers.
For instance, when a big group project failed, leaving all his classmates completely disheartened, Ali shared a story. He told them about a new mango tree they'd planted that didn't bear any fruit in its first year. They had almost given up on it.
But his grandfather advised patience. He told them simply, let the tree take root. So they waited, and the very next year, that same tree produced enough fruit for the entire village. Ali explained that their project was just like that tree. The failure wasn't the end, it was a chance for its intellectual roots to grow stronger. Inspired by this, they tried again, and this time, they won first place.
Later on, he saw a friend who was just overwhelmed with stress, so Ali shared another memory. He recalled a flood in his village where all the large, rigid trees were broken by the force of the water. But the small, flexible berry tree, it survived, simply by bending with the current.
The lesson was so clear. Rigidity leads to breaking, but flexibility allows us to endure. He told his friend that difficult times will eventually pass, and that's when we can stand straight again.
Over time, Ali became known for this unique wisdom.
Of course, some people would taunt him, saying that every problem somehow turned into another one of his village stories. But Ali didn't let it bother him. He just continued his work with grace and perseverance. Years later, after completing his education, Ali became a lecturer himself. And one day, a student, who was just amazed by his calm and insightful approach, asked him for the secret to his problem-solving ability.
And Ali just smiled. He explained that he faces the same problems as everyone else. The difference is his power of observation. Nature, he said, has already taught us the solution to every problem. His life experiences were his textbook. The only difference is that he learned to feel those observations and then give them words. He concluded by saying, "I am the same Ali who read the book of nature and now passes it on to you." And that right there is the wisdom of Ali's village. The answers are all around us if we just learn how to listen.